live recorded. So, welcome back to Star Trek Next Frontier. This is Season 2, Episode 2, titled To Be Revealed Later. We are coming off of quite a long story arc, which ended in the previous episode, but it took the end of Season 1 and just wrapped up in the previous episode. Pretty heavy stuff there with alternate universes, timelines being rewritten, Q, Borg, Icheb. And any Icheb fans out there, who knows? But a lot of stuff going on. But that was all resolved, unfortunately. Also, as part of the resolution, there's been a loss of some members of the ship. Most notably, of course, Captain Savek, who was aboard the USS Darwin at the time the singularity, or the terminus singularity, was destroyed for the DeGrasse Tyson to escape from the oubliette. So she did not make it out, clearly. Also, Lieutenant Thishram was left behind in the other universe, what was it? The liminal membrane, as they called it, that was trying to overwrite reality. He was left behind, but Q Jr. insists that even though that universe no longer exists, Thishram was able to live out the rest of his life as it basically that universe existed in its own pocket, along with his fiancée, who was now healthy and happy. So we don't know how much of that is true, and we don't know how much of that is just Q being Q, or if Thishram is still out there somewhere, but he was left behind. And in addition to that, as well as going through the wormhole and dealing with the founders, the wormhole aliens that are somehow connected to Lieutenant Weber, he did not reappear on the ship when everyone else returned. But Weber disappearing and reappearing has become a very common element aboard the Tyson. So whether he's going to come back or not is anyone's guess, but chances are it's going to be very spontaneous and take everyone by surprise. But the ship itself, the DeGrasse Tyson, was put through quite a lot of stress and trouble for the weeks and weeks they were inside the oubliette, having no fuel, basically getting attacked by the beings that were in there, the Hirogen, for those of you keeping score back at home, mainly. So the ship has a lot of damage, still kind of low on supplies, but now they're back in the regular universe. They're collecting deuterium. Fuel is no longer an issue. However, they are limping their way back to Narendra Station through the Shackleton Expanse to get things put back into place and basically have a sit down with the Admiralty there to file the report and figure out what the next step is now that the ship is captainless and damaged, and pretty much their main goal of finding out the whereabouts of the USS Darwin has been completed. So currently the ship is still under command of Commander Locke, who is acting captain of the DeGrasse Tyson. And they, as I said, set a course back to Narendra Station, trying to avoid a lot of the more dangerous areas of the Shackleton Expanse, because the ship needs to really get repaired first before they go into anything more serious. So that is where we pick up right now. A bit of a lull in the action, a bit of a reprieve for the crew to just do standardized routine tasks, short examinations of strange phenomenon they come across, but not really trying to get involved into anything that might push them beyond their already strained limits. And here we are. Today we're joined by 4 of the crew thus far, and hopefully we could keep them for the duration of this session. We have Lieutenant Junior Grade Frank Drake back with us again. We have Commander Locke, as I said, acting captain of the USS DeGrasse Tyson. Lieutenant Thedajia, who is the acting chief medical officer for the last handful of episodes, quite a few since they lost Dr. Ardun. And of course, a little bit of a peculiar phenomenon herself, Lieutenant Junior Grade Megan James, Kind of, because Megan James herself is in a coma in sickbay, and this Megan James is a hologram that seems to have her memories and personalities and exists without the constant need, should be stressed there, constant need of holoprojectors. So, with these 4 crew members, I'm opening this episode up. As I said, it's downtime, so you are free to create any kind of social scene you want or explore any project or side thing that you would like to do before anything else occurs. So, take it away, boys.
Well, if no one else is jumping in straight away, I'll start off.
We're all too polite.
Yeah, I see microphones going on and David's Britishness going waving to everyone ahead of him. Come
on. So mine's a quick scene unless anyone wants to jump in, which they're welcome to do so. But I'll start it off. The camera sort of pans around the shuttle bay and sort of gets to a point, and there's what seems to be the start of a little ship frame, or more to the point, a shuttle frame with Lieutenant James there sort of starting to, I guess, weld away, putting the frame together of this soon-to-be shuttle. This would be sort of, I guess, what would be deemed as after hours, so, after the alpha shift. So there's just that, unless anyone else would like to pop by. But
let's get a scene of the shuttle there. There we go. So yeah, you see James
in
there.
I am waiting on a reply from Bill.
Okay. Oh. Carry on.
I'll come and join you because I'm going to be making rounds of the ship during my scene. So yeah, I can. Drake will come into the bay to find James working on the shuttlecraft.
It's
and
I'll say that the shuttlecraft is probably slightly bigger than most, around about the same size as a runabout, the DS9 runabouts, but definitely not the same shape, or at least not from what's being put there so far.
Okay. Drake's gonna stand there looking at the ship for a moment before heading over to James. And Lieutenant, nice to see you. I can see your shuttlecraft is starting to come along. How's it going?
It's coming along. I think I just need something to do since recent events.
Drake kind of gently nods his head while she's saying this, but not really trying to start that conversation.
Just quickly, actually, has Drake gone back to Lieutenant?
Oh yeah, because that was
yes.
a parallel universe, yeah. So he doesn't hold that rank.
I lost my promotion.
Yeah. Yeah.
What happens when you kill the captain, you know?
Yeah.
Then I should be ensign.
We're working on it.
Ooh.
So yeah, before James can continue further down the topic of recent events, Drake will kind of cut her off and ask, so tell me about the shuttle. What sort of defense capacity is it going to have?
It's less typical than your normal. It's armored quite well. Offensively not very strong. Certainly less than, points over to one of the other shuttles in the bay. But She'll be designed to hide from sensors. She'll be designed to not be seen.
How is she going to be performing these tasks? Again, engineering's not my forte, I'm afraid. We going stealth like Klingon, or?
Well, I mean, technically we're not allowed to use cloaks, as you know, so it's going to be more designed to hide from the sensors, hide from visuals, hide from all those sort of things, as opposed to outright cloaking. It just absorbs your sensor sweeps and all that sort of stuff, and the emissions from the engines. And I mean, one of the things with the cloaks is all engines produce gas. Well, all impulse engines produce a form of exhaust. So this will not, if I can do it right.
Very good, very good. Keep up the good work, Lieutenant. I shall see you around shortly. And then Drake starts, again typing on his little data pad, starts to head out of the shuttle bay.
Okay. If that scene is finished, I don't know if anyone else wants to jump in on that scene, or if we could move on to the next one. Anything else you want to accomplish with that, Liz?
No, that's fine. Like I said, it was just idea is to throw it in that's being started.
Okay, so we now know Lieutenant James is doing that in her spare time. Who would like to take the next scene?
We can transition to the next scene by having Drake, your communicator badge goes off.
Yes, Commander. I spot you.
Lieutenant Drake, I need you to come to the holodeck immediately. And cuts off there.
A very confused face appearing on Drake as to why he's being called to play in the holodeck during work hours, but Commander's orders, he'll make his way towards the holodeck and make sure he's got his phaser ready as well, just in case.
Oh.
All right. So when you enter the holodeck, it's a kind of a dim scene, and there's it seems like it's night out wherever you are, and you see Locke sitting with his back to you, cross-legged, in front of him are two walls lined with torches, and there's kind of an open seat, not arena, but kind of pit area in front of him. It's not large, but you seem to be in some sort of large, or it's a large kind of tent-like structure, but the actual room isn't that big. It's large for a tent, but not actually that big.
Drake kind of looks around just to check that this isn't one of those many stories he's heard of the holodeck going crazy where you die if you actually get killed. And when notices he's not being shot and is inside a tent. Commander, you needed me?
Welcome, Lieutenant Junior Drake. And Locke stands up and turns up and walks up to him and says, I would like to give you the right to challenge me.
Drake, much like I am now, it's just kind of blinks a few times and stares and challenge you for...
Locke steps aside slightly, and you see dais, like that's about waist high, and sitting on it is an open jewelry case with a golden pip in it. And Locke says, people in Starfleet seem to have a misconception, if you might, about the Klingon Defense Force and how promotions work within it. They think that the only way to gain rank is to sneak behind your superior officer and take them out to show their weakness. But while this does happen, it is not the only means of promotion, of course. It would be chaos on the ship if every promotion came with a murder. But you do have to challenge your superior officer to show your prowess and strength that you deserve the promotion. So, I would like to give you the opportunity to show me your strength. Do you challenge me for the rank of lieutenant?
Drake's a bit perplexed for a moment, but given everything that's happened recently and his past memories as well, he kind of solidifies his face for a moment and goes, "Yes, Commander, I do. Let's go."
All right.
And
you must best me in a match of martial prowess. But as the challenger, it is your right to choose the form of the contest. You may choose any form of martial combat, be it with weapon or without.
Well,
the holodeck makes this much easier, hence us doing it here.
I understand, but given I've been looking forward to trying to learn some Klingon Mokbara, I'll take this opportunity for some hand-to-hand CQC, Commander.
All right. Locke looks around and says, if we want to have the full experience, and then he looks up to kind of up at the computer, so to say, and says, computer, load program 6527. And the room suddenly changes and it's bright out. The sun makes you close your eyes. There you go. And when they focus again, at the same time, you hear the roar of a crowd, and you're in the bottom of an arena, and the stands are filled with Klingons cheering.
This day is getting weirder and weirder. But
shall we?
Let's go.
Okay, well,
we gonna roll for this,
David or
Okay.
Starfleet Command, if you want to walk us through a hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, it will be basically you could do it as an opposed roll, if you would like to, since you're basically fighting each other and not just fighting an enemy. The standard for a hand-to-hand combat, melee combat, is difficulty of 1. So basically, you would both roll your own attack against difficulty of 1, and whoever gains the most momentum on the roll will be the winner.
Okay.
So you're trying to and then you would cancel out, like if you gain 2 momentum and Drake gained 3 momentum, his first 2 would cancel out your 2, and he would be left with 1 extra, and he won the opposed roll.
Okay.
And
then this
right
is
now,
gonna
there's
be-
no momentum for anyone, so you only have threat that you can generate if you want to add extra dice, as well as anything else that you want to add in here, like talents or whatever go on. But
yeah.
melee is security and what is
Fitness?
it? Fitness, I believe. Yeah. Controls for phaser, fitness is for melee. Standard usually.
This is such a weird scene. I love it.
So
Okay.
you could both do your roles separately. I'm desperately trying to find like a Klingon Colosseum picture to change it to, but I don't.
Sorry, I didn't prepare that.
Yeah, I don't have anything that looks exactly like as your. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Can you give me 1 second here?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, please.
I think I found something that kind of works. Oh my god, I don't know where this came from. Apparently it's from it's from one of the comics, but here we go. Wait a second. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Oh my god. Yeah, I like this. Just got to make sure I get it uploaded to the right place. So you could get just start thinking about how you're going to do your roles. What are you going to buy extra dice with threat? Are you using are there any focuses? Are there any talents? Are you going to go straight out determination on each other's butt? What's it going to be? Just give me 1 second. Locations. Where's my locations folder? Here we go. All right. I'm going to have to upload this into Roll20 now, and I think I found a really good one. I'm happy with it. Is all I'm saying. Okay, hang on. Locations. So go ahead and narrate you getting into various stages of undress and stretching as I'm doing this.
Well, I'll take off my outer layer at least, so I'm in the. They always fight in the under yellow, don't they? It's always something
Yeah.
comes off to go. Taking in the scenery.
Okay, it is.
Oh,
Okay. Oh,
Drake's
okay.
gonna enjoy this.
I think it uploads to add page. Oh, this whole spontaneous. This is exciting. Let me just quickly get to this. Oh, what was that? Okay, I did that both right and wrong at the same time. Here we go. I'm going to need one more minute, and I got this. 1 more minute, I got this. I'm really happy with what I found here. 1 more minute, and I got this.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, see. And okay, and then gotta send that to the map layer. Okay, go back to here. This is exciting because I was not expecting this, but I'm just happy found saying. Okay, save this. Go back to the screen where you are. Let me copy both of you so I can put you in there. Copy. Okay, go into the new one. Here we go. Okay, I copy both of you. Perfect. Okay, here we go. I'm ready. All right. It's not letting me do that. Okay, I'm ready. Here we go.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
This is worthy of my
Fantastic.
promotion.
Okay. There we go. And also, I want to make sure everyone knows the music is the. Okay, yeah. I hope you enjoy that. There you go. You got your arena. Apologies. There was trouble on the set. Okay. So again, it's the opposed roll. So you could make your roll and determine who would like to go first and determine.
Well, Lolk
Yeah.
Lolk gets into a position where he has his left foot slightly forward, and he kind of hunches over, leans forward, and has both his arms out, and just is in a ready position.
Okay. So.
Okay, and Drake will be off after seeing Lolk get in that position. Drake will turn his body side on towards the commander, left leg forward, right arm back, in this sort of position.
All right.
Damn, this is gonna
At
be
this
fun.
point, we're both kind of circling each other
Okay.
without making the first move yet.
Looking for an opening.
Yep. So it's fitness and security, and I mean for focuses, I have close combat as a focus,
I would say.
And honestly, and I also have leadership as a focus, and I want to say that I feel like this comes into play here.
Yeah. Either way, yeah. Your whichever focus that you want, you could do that. And if you even want, instead of just be straight up attacking him like that, you could even say you're doing command and fitness if you want to. That would make you even stronger, because it's more of a learning experience. You're not really trying to best him. You're trying to bring out the best in him.
Yeah. So let's do command and
Shit.
fitness and focus leadership.
Shut up, Bill.
But I will say this. I'm going. I mean, you said it was complication 1 for this type of fight.
Difficulty 1.
Or difficulty 1.
Yeah.
But I'm actually going to make it difficulty 2, because for myself, because I'm trying to have a specific outcome instead of just straight up winning.
Okay. So you're basically, that would be like creating an advantage or a trait, which is a 2 difficulty task, so that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then you need to get at least 2 difficulty, and then any bonus momentum over that, or momentum over that, is what he would have to best.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Can I make it more difficult with the fact that I have the talent of sturdy, giving me +1 resistance against all non-lethal attacks?
Oh, yeah. If you have,
We're gonna play this game then, lol. Let's do it.
Yeah, so that would increase the difficulty for him, right? So
I guess so, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's task roll 3 then.
So it would be difficulty 3, but you would have to buy to add extra dice.
Mm-hmm.
Drake's buying.
So are you going to buy extra dice by generating threat?
Yes, I intend to.
Yep, we can do. I'll do that.
And you do have bold command, Lolk, which means you can re-roll dice bought with threat. One die bought with threat, since you're using command.
Yep.
And Drake's
So
got bold security.
2 dice, right?
And you got bold security. So how many are you buying?
Buying the one with threat.
Okay.
And so that's a total of 2 dice, right?
Now you'll be rolling 3 dice total now.
I'll be rolling 3, right?
Yeah, okay. Default's 2, and you need to get at least 3 successes to stand a chance, and then whatever extra is over. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Drake's then punch himself in the face.
After circling for a while, Lolk finally goes to make the first move and makes a move to try and immediately grapple Drake to the ground. So let's see what happens.
Okay, Lolk, you can re-roll that 1 that came up a 0 since you have your bold talent.
Okay, so that's just doing a single.
Oh, Drake, you bought an extra dice too?
Yes, I bought an extra dice as well. Yes, it's another 0.
So Lolk, you made it more difficult for yourself, and then Drake's steady made it more difficult as well. So you did not reach that goal. Drake, you were still at difficulty 1, correct? There's nothing extra, so you gained 2 momentum on that, right? You won and you gained 2 momentum?
I guess so, yeah.
All right, so you do get 2 momentum generated, and you gain the advantage on him. So please narrate how this first pass goes.
So as Commander Lolk runs in for the tackle, essentially, given Drake's sturdy nature is able, rather than being sturdy in this case, manages to, as Commander Lolt comes in, push his arm out, one of his arms out the way while moving backwards, and comes back down with the backhand across the, towards the face at least, to land a glancing blow, we'll say.
And you still have 2 momentum before it banks. It's yours and yours alone before it gets banked. So if there's anything you would like to use that for in this situation.
Let's say I managed to knock him on the chin a little bit, which, knocks his head a little, giving me a bit of an advantage as he's a little, not quite dazed, but it was a blow he wasn't quite expecting.
Okay. Now, Locke, I also want to ask you, it's up to you to decide what the end game of this is, so when he actually earns it or not. Do you want it to be like a best 2 out of 3 or what?
Till he beats me, I guess.
Klingon rage comes out and destroys you.
Yeah, I will. I'm not gonna. I know when it'll end myself. Okay. I'm not gonna kill the suspense by letting Drake know already.
Okay. So you're okay with that then? He's going to basically impose another complication on you of just getting you a headshot by surprise and kind of making you hazy. You're okay with that?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So you scored the first hit there. So next go.
Yeah. So Locke kind of takes the hit on his chin and turns up, and when he looks back at you, he's got a smile, and he's got a smile on his face. He's like, and he looks at you and says, "Ah, yes. It seems that I've made a good decision in choosing you." But you also see that his stance changes a little bit, and he's very much into the fight now. So that one difficulty is being taken back.
This is the moment where Drake has that moment, just in a little voice in his head's going, "Man, Klingons are scary."
All right.
That's both of the memories as well. They're coming back. All the times he's been fighting with the other universe, Locke is like, let's go.
Okay, if you're buying more dice, going for round 2, let me know. Yep. Let me know what it's going to be.
Let's go. Doing the same as before.
Okay. So 1 extra for you, 1 extra for Drake.
And re-rolling that one.
Definitely want to re-roll the complication.
0.
You do have the focus turned on for both of you, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So there's still 1 momentum left in the pool, right?
Yeah, there's still... Oh, well, it's actually 2 momentum that goes on to him there. So, Locke, again, you needed 3 because of the complication he put on you. And also with his there, you rolled 5. So you definitely gained 2 over. You got 2 momentum over right now on Locke's side. Okay, Drake?
Okay, well... Is there still 1 in the pool? Because at this point I haven't been promoted, which means my
no.
Drake hasn't changed. No?
No, because it would take 2 to impose that complication.
Oh, crap. Okay, then go through it. We'll do 1 more threat again, and let's pray. Oh, I need to re-roll. Do I need to? I need to re-roll 1.
You don't need to re-roll 1. So basically, you tied on this one.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 and 2. So the momentum cancels each other out. You tied, and that means the attacker wins on a tie, which the active character wins on tie. So Locke would basically.
I'll let him have this one.
He kind of gets the best of you on this one. So go ahead, Locke.
So. This time, when take a step towards you, and one hand on grabs your shirt by the shoulder, and the other by near your belt, and just down to the ground. But you're able to pull Locke with you to the ground. So at this point, we are both grappling on the ground, and this last roll off will be who gets the upper hand while on the ground.
Okay.
Scheiße.
So for this one though, I will have the upper hand because I'm starting on top of you. So I will have the benefit this time.
So that's going to cancel out the complication that he put on top of you, so that's gone now.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're back to, you need 2 successes, and Drake, you need 1 success now, right?
I guess so.
Because he canceled that out, so 2 and 1 right now, right? As it
Yeah.
stands. All right, so buying 1 die, again, 0 momentum. Are you buying 1 extra die again, or no?
Is his difficulty taken into account sturdy? Because that doesn't.
Yeah, that would
anymore,
be that would.
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't play anymore.
Because I'm knocked down now, so sturdy's resistance to knockdown, but we'll let that happen.
Yeah,
so that resistance is now gone.
Okay, so no, then he only needs
So
1
now
as
it's an
well
even
too.
roll
So
off.
now it's 1 and 1. Yeah.
Yeah. Keep it fair.
Keep it fair.
Yeah.
All right. Buying more dice.
Yep.
Anything in the pool?
No momentum. No.
Oh.
But I got a ton of threat. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I know. I don't like the fact we're giving him so much.
Oh, there you go.
So
3. You got to beat 3.
Oh shit! I need to re-roll 1. Come on. Oh.
So 1, and let's see. He has 2 momentum over. It cancels out the 1 momentum you gain, so it leaves 1 in the pool. And Locke is the winner of this floor tussle. Go ahead, Locke.
Klingons.
So as they grapple together and roll over on the ground, Locke is able to get one arm around one of Drake's legs and pull it forward, and has the other arm wrapped around kind of up towards Drake's head, and is in a very awkward pinning position that Drake's not quite sure how they both got into that position. But Lulk is smiling as this was a typical Klingon hold that he figured that Drake would not know how to deal with. And as they're being held there, the crowd cheers, and Commander Lulk he says, "Computer, run program 7722," and the scene changes, and you're back in the quiet, small tent, and with the just there by firelight, and Lulk lets go and stands up, puts his hand down to Drake.
Drake kind of lies there for a second and then looks back up and goes, "I'm going to have to learn how to do that. That's the second time I've been bested while grappling," and then takes his hand to get back up.
And we're both standing next to the small dais that has the pip on it still. And Lulk looks at Drake and says, It was never expected for you to win this fight, as obviously you were not a Klingon, but you are perhaps the only one on this ship who could have come as close to winning as you did. You have passed the test. I am proud to award you the promotion to lieutenant. And he reaches over and takes the pip and pins it, takes off the black pip and pins it on Drake's collar, and steps back and says, "I expect when you come again to challenge me for the rank of lieutenant commander. that you will win that fight.
Yes, Captain. I look forward to the day, and hopefully a few more practice matches in between, if you don't mind.
Of course, Lieutenant.
Captain, thank you.
And at this point, Lulk kind of looks down and looks at his hand and kind of sticks it out a little awkwardly. And looks at Drake.
Drake looks back and Drake sticks his hand out to shake his hand as well, as assuming that's what it's going for.
Yeah,
a little
Lulk...
scared of being flipped at the moment as well. Thinking it's a Klingon.
Lulk kind of very awkwardly shakes his hand and is like, such strange human custom. Shakes his head a little bit.
What would be the appropriate Klingon, Captain?
We tend not to touch each other unless we are fighting, so...
Understood.
It took a great amount of restraint for me to not continue our fight from where it was as you took my hand.
Drake gets a little shiver up his spine of fear.
Like, please let go of my hand.
Yes.
Back away. Well, congratulations, Lieutenant Drake. We got a promotion.
Yay!
Hey, there we
Lovely.
go. You need to change your nameplate now.
Damn right, I'm already on it.
Yeah, you're not JG anymore. Wonderful scene there, guys. That was fun. That was fun.
Yeah,
I
was hoping to win, but Klingons,
it's
man.
It's a Klingon. Whoa, Lieutenant Drake. There you go.
See
now,
what you did?
I've already got 2 gold.
What no one told you is if you had won, you would have gone straight to Lieutenant Commander. But
Oh, what? I shouldn't have let you have that middle one.
No, if you won, you would have been kicked out Starfleet. He would put you in the brig until you get back.
Put me in the airlock, never mind the brig.
Yeah. Now, if I may, I think this would be a good time since you got tussled up a bit, the both of you. Why don't for the next scene? Why don't the two of you head to sickbay just to get all the bruises and that treated, and we'll get Tadagia, if you're still around. How about that?
Oh yes.
I know you're still having some internet issues, so while you're present, I'd like to at least give you a chance to have a scene. You want that?
Sure.
All right, so let's jump into sickbay, right? So the two of you head on down to sickbay to just get patched up. Door opens. Doctor, you see your commander, and you see Drake coming in, and they're sweaty. Their hair is all tussled to and fro, and light bruising around their hands, their arms, face. And you also notice that there is a second gold pip on Lieutenant Drake's collar now that wasn't there when the morning started.
Commander, Lieutenant, how can I help you this afternoon? As you're saying this, you hear in the background, you notice that there's not a whole lot of staff around. In fact, it's just the Dogia himself, and you hear in the background what sounds to be a rousing game, cheering in the background. And he's like, "Oh, don't mind me. I'm just watching a game here of hockey. Are you familiar with this game? Hockey. Fascinating game here, but
Ice or field?
It's a human sport.
Oh yes. But I've grown quite fascinated with it. In fact, we have a small team there off the moon of Andoria and Talor, where we've engaged in a rousing game against actually several of your Klingons, and quite formidable foes on the rink. But enough about me.
The thought of Andorians and Klingons playing hockey. Jesus. Sorry, go on.
I could see that. That would be fun.
Computer, pause game. And I'm going to turn around and take another look at them again. What have you been up to?
Well, as you might have noticed, the lieutenant here has been promoted, and he has earned his promotion, as one might say.
When
So
Thaddeus looks over at Drake, he sees him mouthing the word Klingon style.
I see. I won't ask questions. But I suppose this is all
not too different from this hockey sport that you humans like. And to be fair, it's actually becoming somewhat popular among Klingons. I've already heard of it, surprisingly enough. One of the few human activities that they do for fun that I actually find respect for.
And how did you do? I assume that you excelled in your combat.
Well, had to let the captain win, but I think I did pretty well.
Still commander.
Well, you're acting captain. Well, you normally call them captain at this point. No, it's weird. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, call
Right,
him
commander.
captain's fine. Call him captain's fine. Rank is commander,
yeah.
but position is captain. So you're fine.
Oh, yeah,
Either
so
way.
those,
Locke just kind of look
Congratulations. It's
over
the
at you
order
when you
of
say
promotion.
captain, but doesn't actually say anything out
Commander.
loud.
So nod
Okay.
to Drake and Captain.
There you go.
Captain.
Yeah, Locke just is somewhat uncomfortable with it and looks at both of them and then continues on asking about the hockey game. Who's playing?
Drake's looking around the room at this point, and I'm guessing sees the comed James still in the room.
Ah, yes. Yeah, in the treatment area, yes. As a reminder that the James you just spoke with earlier today is not actually James, but is actually James, or is she? That's the question.
Yeah, Locke follows the lieutenant's gaze towards James and then turns to Lieutenant Adagia and says, "So how are they doing? Has there been any update to their status?"
I suppose you're referring to the game.
No, I'm sorry, to Lieutenant James, and motions towards the bed. Oh, are we losing him?
I hope not. You still there, Thadagia?
Sorry, I've dropped out again.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. Just hang in there with your internet. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Fingers are crossed. Yeah. Any update on the comatose physical Lieutenant James Thadagia? Or anything you want to report about it? If we still have you. We might not. We might need to give him time. Yeah, unfortunate timing indeed, but we want to give him a chance. Well, let's just say that it's very sensitive subject for him, so he falls silent as he thinks about it. So we might be losing him for a second. Thadagia, if you get a chance, you pop back in and you say what you want to say when you can, okay? But otherwise, Locke, you can just monitor or walk over to the monitor and take a look at the readings and just assume that Thadagia is basically backing it up. Just still no real signs of brain activity. She's just completely out, and for the past couple of weeks since you've been back from the oubliette, there's still been no improvement, no change in that, and in fact, that's one of the other reasons going to Narendra Station. You would have to pretty much drop her off for more intensive treatment, since you can't just keep her on the ship like this.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate that his internet's dropping out right now.
Yeah, I know. It would be a perfect time to engage with him on that. So we'll just end this scene here, unless you want to have something else with David, or even involve the Hollow Lieutenant James.
I mean, I think we can move that into a next scene.
Okay.
To go, just go have a conversation with James. And we'll come back to Thadasia if his internet gets better.
Yeah. Okay. That's unfortunate. Okay, so do you want to take the next scene somewhere else before things start to happen, or what is your view for the next activity?
Yeah, I'll go and find James myself.
Okay. She is probably still in the shuttle bay. Is that right, James?
That would be correct.
Okay.
Depending on what sort of time frame we're looking at, but that didn't sound like it took too much time.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go get cleaned up first. But it's not just gonna show up half beaten up.
Yeah, let the doctor treat you first, and then you'll be okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, then we'll move everything to the shuttle bay yet again. So here we go. So Commander Locke will come to the shuttle bay, and how's that looking? Okay. When you're ready, you two.
Yeah, so while we were being treated, Drake mentioned some of the stuff that Lieutenant James was working on since they had been conversing prior to our meeting, and that reminded Locke to go and speak with Lieutenant James and check in on her. So yeah, so I assume you're working on the ship as I walk up, James.
Yep, she's I'll say she has the coat off, and just in the it's after hours, so and is sort of underneath. Well, I mean, there's no outer hull to the shuttle yet. It's literally just a frame, but she's underneath, sort of welding some of the frame together.
As I approach and say, Lieutenant.
She sort of sits up a bit, whacks her head. Captain, what a surprise.
I hear you've been making modifications on this shuttle.
Yes. I started building it the other day.
This hobby of yours.
Yes, Captain. She slides out from underneath and stands up near the back of the...
Please, be at ease. Continue working if you like. This is not a official meeting. I came to chat.
It sort of is a little awkward at that, but yep. Yes, Captain.
So, please be at ease. I simply like to learn about the everyday qualities of the crew. Working on shuttles like this Have you been doing this a long time?
Well, I grew up on Utopia Planitia, so I have been around ships partially built, partially refitted, partially being dismantled all my life. So I've sort of where I learnt most of my knowledge is, helping out, building ships, and my interest for engineering.
Hmm. So I take it then you started very young.
Yes, yeah, I could pull apart a warp engine before I could walk. Not quite, but it's what my mother used to say.
I do enjoy hearing the childhood stories of fellow crew members. Do you by chance remember the first ship or shuttle that you put together yourself?
Well, it's certainly not the first, but the one I liked the most, I think, was the Luna. She was a beautiful ship. But
I personally remember my first test of strength from when I was a child. I remember it quite fondly. So please tell me more about this Luna ship. And you don't have to actually, you can just kind of assume that we spend 15-20 minutes of you reminiscing of
she would go into so much detail of the ship that even sort of someone who's quite knowledgeable or quite enjoys the knowledge of ships, she would bore the ever-loving bejeebers out of you with its detail, its dual intermix chambers and all that sort of fun stuff. She's very passionate about it, but like I said, so much detail that it would bore you to death.
Well, Locke encourages and pushes and prods a little bit just to keep her talking, and just listens for 20-30 minutes, spends some time, and then returns to his duties. But in general, Locke's main purpose there was honestly trying to see if it was actually James, and like seeing how much of the history or personal history and memories they have and such. Because Locke sees it as a win-win situation, that either they're able to find that the hologram James is not the same, or they find that they are the same, and also gets to learn quite a bit about the crew member. So it works out either way for him.
And more than you ever wanted to know about a Luna class ship.
Yeah.
He's going to win the next trivia night that they hold about the starship. Okay, then why don't we just move along to the next scene? Everyone okay with that?
Yep.
Okay, we'll do a little cut, and
actually, there's one little scene I was hoping to do.
Then please, yeah.
But it's a small lone scene for Drake, and that is he's going to go to. So after walking down the corridors, scene changes to Drake walking down the corridor, discussing with someone from engineering, talking about upgrading, trying to find a way to upgrade the shields and the weapons based on his memories from the other universe. He sends that person off before stopping in front of a door in the corridor. This is the personnel area, and when he puts in his code to override and open the door, it is Thesron's room. And as the Shran is gone, he's planning on putting his personal items into storage before we head back to Narendra Station. And obviously, given that he's just upped and disappeared, Drake's looking for anything personal for the Shrans to potentially, because obviously he knew there's the girlfriend back somewhere that wasn't doing well. So he's looking for a way to contact, and if there's anything important in the room of the Shrans, just as a final goodbye sort of thing.
So, basically just going to collect his personal belongings and trying to contact who again? Who would you like to just back home?
Yeah, there's the general stuff of contacting his family, but also Drake's going to try and find out what happened to his partner. What happened to his partner?
Okay, well, let's see here. We could also...
That's probably something to find out when we get back to Narendra, because the Shran didn't know before we left either. So I'm guessing why he stayed.
Let's see. I can't find that character right now. Oh, I was going to put a character in there real quick, but for some reason, I don't have them on the main page here, which makes sense, but I could pull them from another page. We'll just say we'll allow you to gather that and do your plan. So I won't muddy it up with something else right now, but we'll just give Drake his moment to be there in silence and kind of, he got along well with the Shran as well as anyone could get along with him.
And this is where he finds a phaser pistol hidden under his pillow that has definitely not got the correct Starfleet settings, giggles, and then keeps that one for himself.
There you go. One that will never kill anything. One that will just stun no matter how hard you try. There you go.
Nice memento.
All right, nice scene. Thank you there. And we'll move to the next scene where Commander Lok, you are summoned to the bridge by whoever's on crew. We'll say Vunvi is the one who contacts you and says that they have detected something, so they require your presence on the bridge, Captain.
On my way.
Okay. And let's switch things. By this point, when you're done with everything, Drake, will you be heading to the bridge as well?
Yep, I'll be back on duty. Drake is kind of pulling double shifts at the moment as well.
Okay. So then going to the bridge, we'll just make sure Drake is there for now. James, you'll probably still be down in the shuttle bay at the moment, right? So we'll keep you out there, and let's just...
Unless I'm called.
Unless you're called, and you may be called soon enough. So for now, we'll just get the bridge loaded up there. So back on the bridge, Captain, Commander Locke, when you come onto the bridge, you're informed by your con officer, who again has been taking on more and more shifts now that Tishran is no longer on the vessel. So it's always a reminder when you see Vunvi at the helm instead of Tishran that he is not there. She reports to you, Captain, we are detecting the telltale signs of a distress signal coming from a hazardous area of space.
Locke kind of looks at the displays, sighs and shakes his head. And what's the nearest Starfleet ship to us currently?
To us, the nearest ship would probably still be docked at Narendra Station. There are very few in this direction of the Shackleton Expanse.
I was afraid you'd say that.
Drake's staring at Lolk at this point. Not being obvious about it, but like seeing how you respond.
And I assume that the repairs we've been doing on our way back have not gotten very far. Am I correct?
Are you asking in character or out?
In character.
That is correct, Captain.
All right. Is there any indication what kind of distress signal this is? What it originates from?
The signal is heavily distorted, which is fitting from the turbulent subspace region that it is coming from. However, one thing of note that I was able to discern in my scan is it does match a signal of the Xylxyk population.
I see. Well,
Drake, that name also probably sends a little bit of chills down your spine too.
Yeah, really pushing home some of Drake's trauma right now, but go on.
well, it seems it's not too far out of our path. I suppose we should investigate before we return to the station. Set a course to towards the source of the distress signal and see what you can do to begin trying to improve the quality of it, so we might have an idea what we are heading towards before we arrive.
Understood, Captain. Okay. Meanwhile, while that's going on, course is being set, you have a moment to discuss things on your own about the status of the ship and also anything Drake might have to say because of his previous incarceration by the Xylxyk.
Yeah, Drake's in a very twisted moment here. He's not a big fan of the Xylxyk, but the way his mind is at the moment with things that have happened, he's in a bit of turmoil, but definitely leaning towards the must be saving them attitude.
I'll I contact the engineering department and tell them that they need to, since we are not going directly back to the station, that they need to have essentially a high priority on doing repairs now, as much as they can now, since we are not yet on an active mission, but will soon be, and can't just wait until we're at the docks to do the repairs. So unfortunately, that means Lieutenant James does not have time to continue with a hobby project currently and needs to be full attention on repairing the ship.
We'll say Lieutenant Alder, who is still down in engineering, he starts getting things in order there. Lieutenant Krell, also in charge of operations these days. He'll get, since James is pulled back on duty, Krell will send a message to James asking her on behalf of engineering to look over the scans of the area of space coming in to see exactly what is to be expected since it's listed as hazardous.
All right. James will put her, I guess, the coat back on, and best place to run scans like that would be the bridge, I would imagine.
Sure, could go up to the bridge.
So she'll head up there.
Okay.
Um,
Back on.
she walks into the bridge initially and sort of looks at the captain's chair for a moment and sort of lowers her head a bit and goes to one of the consoles. All right, so I will do a scan of the area that we're heading to.
Okay. Then that would just be control and science, and somebody could roll for the DGT as well. To also it lowers the difficulty by one. There is severe distortion coming from the area. A lot of subspace distortion. In fact, it has a level 3 subspace distortion rating on it, which creates a difficulty of 3, but the DeGrasse Tyson also, with its advanced sensors, knocks that down to 2.
And I can roll for the ship.
Okay, perfect.
Sorry, that
I'll
was
mess it up.
So, control and science would be the standard for a scan. Yes.
Complication range.
Complication range is still 1 right now as you're approaching the area.
And do we have any momentum?
We have 1 right now that I have not removed yet, because even though scenes are kind of changing, technically this is still the opening scene.
I'll pinch it before it changes, if I may.
There you go. Then
If you'll allow that.
I will. You'll get 1
Thank
extra
you.
die.
Then
Oh, I see what I did there. Hang on a second. I did that in the wrong place. There we go. Sorry. Okay, so let's see. What did you get? You got 2, and then the ship also another 2 there. So you get 2 extra momentum out there, which of course you can always use for obtain information. So yeah, running the scans and just trying to basically see if the ship is okay for it. The biggest thing is you're getting information about the subspace distortions in the area, and what is not special, because going through the Shackleton Expanse, you've encountered lots of rough subspace areas throughout your journeys here. This is no different, but this seems to be a lot more focused in its intensity. It's a little peculiar of how intense some of the ratings are coming from subspace in this area. What I will say again about the area real quick, without you asking questions or just spending to get more information, as well as it would be really dangerous to use a warp bubble once you enter into this area because of the warp bubble's interaction with subspace. So impulse would probably be the way to go.
okay.
Those are the main things. Now, if you have follow-up questions for obtained information, you could spend momentum, or if it's something that would just be free, anyhow, just a piece of advice you would get from it without the additional deep level investigation, I could give it to you. So if you have any questions about that, you can do that as well. And I think, Drake, since you're on security, you would be monitoring the information as it's coming in through the scans. So if you have questions as well, you could pop in with that.
Cool.
I guess my first question, with the subspace turbulence, I guess, would it be easier to set up something? Well, first of all, I guess, how hazardous is it to the ship?
It would
and
be
all the
that one you don't really need, because that was kind of in the information you got. Probably as long as you are not using your warp engines, you would be fine. It would still be, the distortion would still be there interfering with systems. So like scans would be a lot harder to perform, and other systems may not interact well with it, but the ship itself should be fine as long as you keep the warp bubble down.
Okay. is there anything I can do to the ship that will reduce its effects on the ship? So certain shielding or modifications to the hull or something along those lines that might, I guess, absorb or deflect some of the effects of the subspace.
For that, again, I don't think you're going to need to spend a point of momentum on that one just from the initial. The answer for that, the short answer would be no. There's really nothing you can do, because the one thing that interacts with subspace more than others would be the communications and the warp bubble itself. So there's not really anything you can do in particular because there is something rather odd about how these subspace distortions are, which the data is showing it. Something about it does not appear to be natural.
Okay, that's piqued my interest. In what way? This would probably be the first momentum spend, I suspect.
Mm-hmm.
How is it different to perhaps normal subspace anomalies?
Okay, so with the one momentum spend there, just first of all, with how contained the area is, it's maybe about, did I write the size here? It's probably about 1 light year in diameter, the region. And unlike areas where normally you have subspace distortions, they're random because they're broken patches of subspace because of damage and things of turmoil. This seems to be a very well defined area, as in it starts here and it ends here definitely, which doesn't really fit. What you
Actually, like it was. Sorry, you go.
No, I was just saying, but you can also tell as part of this momentum spend by scanning this diameter of this area that the entirety of the area is filled with a pretty vast, maybe asteroid field is the right way to say it. It's basically rocky, small planetoids and asteroids in it. So it seems to be contained only within the borders of this distortion.
Does this, because I was going to ask before when I interrupted you, but I was going to say, does it look like this might have been almost intentional, as in like a something happened to a ship? But now I'm wondering if it's in an asteroid field. Is this perhaps a weapons test of some sort?
That I can't really say, but like I said, if it looks unnatural, then it looks like it was either done there for a reason or it's the after effects of whatever happened. So could be either way.
Now, question. With the warp field effects, that will not affect the warp core itself. We can still have that running as long as there is no warp bubble. Is that correct?
Yes. So as long as like the warp, traveling with the warp bubble would probably be way too risky, because of just how intense these distortions are. So you don't want the warp bubble coming into contact with them.
Okay. How far away are we? As in, should we be shutting down that warp bubble now, or did we have a little bit of time before that may affect things?
You have time. As I said, there seems to be this delineated line where the distortions begin. As long as you power down and enter with impulse, you won't feel the effects of it in that way.
All right. Not quite leaving the questions there, but what I would like to do, if I may, is call over the captain. Captain.
Yes, Lieutenant.
It looks like the area is quite severely affected by subspace. We will need to shut down the warp field, the warp bubble, while we enter. thankfully, the area is quite pronounced as to where that field starts, but once we enter, we will not be able to create a stable warp field. But the ship should, otherwise with the repairs already made, should be fine traveling through.
I'm happy to hear it.
But we will need to shut down that warp bubble and impulse only from that point on until we're out.
I guess the silver lining is that by having to approach at a slower speed, it gives us more time to finish repairs before we arrive.
The ship will hold. We've been working double shifts for quite some time. We've managed to do a lot of internal repairs. The external ones are a lot harder to get to, obviously, especially, well, impossible at warp.
As I'm glad to hear the status of the ship, I fear that it's not just the ship that needs repair before we do too much more work. The crew too need their time to self-repair, so to say. But unfortunately, we have a duty, and we cannot pass by this distress signal, so that will have to wait.
Souls in trouble are souls in trouble. We cannot.
My thoughts precisely. All right, well, get as much done as you can before we arrive. And hopefully we'll all be able to rest soon.
Actually, just a quick question in regards to the scans.
Yes.
I don't know if it's too late to ask the question. There was a ship lost in there or damaged or what have you that sent out an SOS.
Mm-hmm.
Was the scan able to detect them and or their condition, any information about the ship, whether it's Federation, whether it's Klingon, Romulan?
The initial scan, according to Vumbi, says it was Xylxyk. And as for the condition, no, you get nothing of it. It's just the trace of the signal that made it out of this distortion field. So it's kind of pointing you in the direction where the signal came from, but you can't really penetrate inside to precisely see where it is or what its condition is now. You're more or less just getting the echo of it that came out.
All right. I can't get any further information on the ship itself, though, Captain. This subspace is quite odd, though. Like I said, very pronounced, which is good for us going in, but it feels deliberate in some way.
Keep an eye on it and update me if anything changes.
Yes, Captain.
Okay. Anything from Drake before heading into that?
No, if we can't detect the ship specifically, then there's nothing Drake. Well, Drake's just concerned about the ship and if anything else is there, but we can't detect those, so nothing from me.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll just say, I know you said that Drake's sort of able to see it anyway, but I guess to some degree, James doesn't know that, so she'll send any information of the scan to Drake to show the, and probably to Vumvi to show the exact sort of area where the subspace starts.
Okay, so at least for Khan especially, that would be extremely important, and I would imagine security as well. So we'll at least know, and then yeah, you'll make your way as close as you can, giving the crew time to finish whatever they're doing and any last minute repairs or whatever they may need going in. And then once you get to the edge of the field, you would be able to cut engines, switch to impulse, and then head directly inside. So how about we take our commercial break here, our 10-minute break, and then when we resume, we'll be at the we'll be entering into the field. How's that?
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, going to commercial in 3, 2, 1. Okay, I think we're back from the break now. The clock is ticking again, so we're back for our commercial, and you have reached the edge of this subspace distortion area of space. You switched over to impulse after confirming that everything is okay, made sure the warp bubble is down, and entering inside. As I mentioned before, the scans from the outside show that the area stretches for roughly 1 light year, which is pretty massive, as you can imagine, and it's just peppered with various sizes of planetoids, rocks, asteroids, all these things scattered about in pretty close proximity to each other. They're not. It's not like massive distances between them like a real asteroid field. Although I mean it's not like they're butting up against each other. They're all seemingly holding the same position that they're in. They're not drifting wildly or chaotically. They are in their own fixed orbit or fixed location in space. Once you cross that threshold, then you really start to feel the effects of this subspace distortion. Your sensors are next to useless without really straining them. Communication outside will be spotty at best. You might be able to fire out a message, but you're most likely not going to be able to get a reply inside, and you're not really even going to be sure if anyone connects to you on the outside. It really is like a bubble of just explosive subspace threading the entire area. I'm not talking until anyone else talks. No. I'll just say that Vumbi does say that she has set in a course following the vector from where the signal came from, but once you're inside, it's not like you're able to pinpoint it easily. You're just following basically the direction where it escaped from the field.
Keeping my eye on, I've got up the engineering screen on the bridge there, and I'm keeping an eye on everything.
Okay. So far, things are good. Nothing out of the ordinary. You're traveling at impulse, and again, the impulse usually goes into quarters, like quarter impulse, half impulse, full impulse. Full impulse in a field of this size, it would probably take you about 4 hours to go from one side to the other. And with how dense the field is and the course corrections you would have to make to go around it, it would probably be in your best interest to travel slower than full impulse. So half impulse, or probably the standard just leisurely cruising quarter impulse like you normally would while inside like a solar system or things like that. Would be better, but of course that then increases the amount of time it would take you to get from one side to the other, depending on exactly where you're going inside there.
Yeah, well, Lolk orders to put to half impulse.
Okay.
And to head in the direction of the distress signal, and asks to be notified as soon as there is any kind of update on the information about the distress signal.
Understood, Captain. Says Vumbi. Anyone else? Anything you would like to look for, scan for, or do as you are on this course traveling there?
I guess I'll slide to the next, my little cool chair. Slide to the next console over and just keep, randomly running a scan with the sensors. I know you said that they're not going to pick up much, but just constantly throwing out a scan, to see if it at any point finds anything of interest.
All right. Well, yeah, we could do that just to have something going in the background. So do another difficulty 2 scan, and we'll just say this is pretty much what's happening as you drift your way through on that vector. So it's difficulty 2,
Control
and
science.
yeah, now you're doing control science, and this is inside the scan inside the field compared to the scan of the outside of the field. Okay, and that's pretty darn good. Also, the scene changed, so you did lose that momentum, but you just got 2 momentum back anyhow. So you did succeed, and the DEGRASSE Tyson is really firing on all cylinders now, coming back out of the oubliette. So yeah, you got 2
Hey, when engineering say they fix something,
they fixed it. They did. They're right.
We don't mess around.
That's for
sure. We
sure.
don't mess around in engineering.
So after about an hour or so traveling as you're going through, the sensors are fine-tuned. You're picking up. Occasionally, you are getting detections of, like you're starting to detect that some of these asteroids, some of these planetoids, seem to have elements of an atmosphere. Nothing major, but you are detecting like atmospheric compositions as you're passing by some of them, which again to you is a bit odd because usually any kind of body this small would not be able to maintain its own atmosphere. So whether there actually is atmosphere on these things you're getting, or if you're just picking up trace elements coming from the area of whatever this may have been before it shattered.
Did we have star charts of any sort of this area previously?
Nothing, no.
Okay.
Not this deep in the Shackleton Expanse, no.
I wonder if this was a planet once. James sort of, I guess we'll say that not to everyone, but like almost to herself, like do that, oh, was this a planet kind of thing is, yeah. So feel free if you think your character heard that or not, so.
Drake's distracted with other things, so he wouldn't have noticed you mumbling to yourself on the other side of the room.
Actually, with the scan, I don't know if I can, but maybe with the momentum spend, can I determine whether the chunks of asteroid / floating rocks are actually from the same planetoid originally? So like a planet that broke up and sort of split apart.
That's a good question. Yeah, that's a good point for that. So yeah, we'll use 1 momentum for that attain information. Focusing the scan on the data coming off of the individual rocks as you're passing them, it looks like no, they were many of them seem to have completely different compositions.
Yeah, there is a sigh of relief. But I guess we continue on in.
Share that information.
I mean, you would have heard her mutter about was this maybe a planet? And then she sort of went back to the scanners and did a bit more, and there was a sigh of relief. But I don't think she would have shared it because it didn't really pan out to be what she thought it was. So
Okay.
they're just asteroids. But I mean, you can infer something and ask.
Are there any signs of life in the vicinity?
I'll hit those sensors again and see if I can see anything.
Immediately on here, no, but with how limited the sensors are at the moment, odds are you would probably have to get close enough to one of these asteroids, one of these planetoids, and try to make a focus scan. You're not getting anything from this distance.
Unable to tell at this time, Captain. I'll sort of tap some coordinates to Vumvi to bring us closer to one of the asteroids, rocks, whatever, that have some of the atmosphere that you mentioned, and try and focus a scan down on one of the on the sort of atmosphered asteroid.
Okay. Captain,
if you want to do that as part of the
is she allowed to make that trip?
Yep. Let's go.
All right. Then we'll say the DEGRASSE TYSON moves closer in the direction where it's getting scans of the trace elements of atmosphere. Getting close to one, focusing down the scan. It's kind of hard to tell at the distance, but using the momentum instead of making another roll. Is that okay?
Yep.
It's hard to tell, but it doesn't look like the asteroid has like an atmosphere around the entire thing. It's almost like there are just little pockets of atmosphere trapped here and there. And you are detecting traces of biological signs.
Okay. All of that I'll pass through to the captain. So some of these asteroids have got little pockets of atmosphere, but certainly not individually, surrounding them or anything. I can't tell if it's the range of the scanners, but there is some evidence of biological life, but I can't tell what.
Is it spread across multiple asteroids, or is it all coming from a single?
You did say, Bill, that there were multiple asteroids like this.
You were getting detections from multiple directions of trace elements. This was just the first one, the closest one that you came across to you. So yeah, you're getting in other directions as well too.
Looks like there are multiple, but without getting close to more of them, it'll hard to say exactly whether each are like this or more or less life. But there are multiple asteroids with atmospheres or trace elements of atmosphere.
Let's move in a bit closer to see if we can't better confirm or deny any kind of life forms on these planetary bodies.
Okay, so you want to bring the ship in closer?
Yeah.
Okay, bringing it in closer. That's not really a hard thing to do. We'll just say because you're already scanning this one in particular, doesn't need another roll, and you're not going to need to spend points for it because you're already in the process of doing it. So going in for closer scan, it seems like there is some kind of plant life you're detecting traces of like plant life inside these little pockets of atmosphere. Nothing else seems to be in there, but you are registering different types of possibly like trees or grasses or something of that sort inside these pockets.
But nothing more than plant life, it seems.
Not on this
at
one.
this point?
No, not here.
Oh, not on this one specifically.
Yeah,
I see.
because you can only, well, you get traces of atmosphere detection coming from multiple directions. This one in particular that you're looking at doesn't seem to have anything else.
Is there any update on the origin of the distress signal? Are we able to better pinpoint where it's came from?
You still have the direction. You still have the direction it's coming from that you deviated from for a bit. It does also line up with where more traces of atmosphere were detected.
Well, then let's head in that direction, and as we pass on any of these atmosphere, rocks with atmospheres, continue to scan them as we move past.
As a side note at this point, given that the sensors are all being a bit haywire, Drake's been working on trying to make sure that the targeting systems are at least trying to compensate for the distortions.
Okay.
Just in case.
Okay. If you want to actually make an attempt at that, of doing that, we could.
Yeah, go for it.
That would be setting a advantage. That would be like establishing a trait for that to override that. But it's also being affected by these distortions, which is the level 3. That's going to make this a difficulty 5 roll.
Well, damn.
That's what the level 3 does. So, you're trying to do it just software wise, correctly? So that would pretty much be, I would imagine, a control and security, as it were, or control and science. It could also work.
Yeah, they're the same. I'll go with science. It seems more sciencey.
Okay.
And I don't use it often. We
so
out of momentum at this point, right?
spent the last of it just now. Yeah.
Sorry.
It's fine. We needed to know. There's plant life on these asteroids. It's interesting.
You don't have to do it now if you want to. You could just wait for a little more downtime if you don't want
I sent you a quick private message too, by the way, or question rather.
Okay, let me take a look. I turn off all the pings when this goes on so it doesn't get recorded. Let's see.
Do you know what? I'm going to use security and control because I can re-roll if needed. And I'll take one more threat for you, Bill. Please enjoy.
Oh, thank you.
And I'll roll 3 dice.
Okay, so 3 dice. Anything else you're using?
Focus is on, so using shipball tactical systems. And
We need a roll from the ship.
we need a roll from the ship. Do we need a... Yeah, ship would help, right?
Not for this one because you are making changes to the ship programming itself, but you're not using the ship to do it. It's you doing it.
Okay, let's pray for a miracle. And away she goes. And I get 1 reroll because of bold security. And please, the 0 to a 2.
Oh,
No,
okay.
never mind.
All right, so yeah,
Damn it.
the distortion, no matter what kind of algorithms you put in and targeting, pre-programmed targeting thing, try compensate for it, just the intensity, the sheer intensity of these distortions, completely negate it, unfortunately. But good on you for trying.
Give you that threat for free.
Thanks. I know just what to do with it. All right. So you keep making your way down. There's no other rock or asteroid on the path that you detect an atmosphere of on the way until you approach a bit of a larger one. It's a bit of a larger one that you get close to, where similarly to the other one, you do detect that there are pockets of atmosphere on this one, and it seems to be very close to where the distress signal originated.
I'm going to throw them their sensors towards that big rock.
Throw the sensors to the big rock. Instead of making you do a roll, unless you do want to do a roll to try and generate momentum, if it succeeds, like we could just use the same settings from before to tell you what you got on there. So it's your call.
I'm certainly not as good with science as I am with engineering, but I'll give it a go just so we can the potential of momentum.
Okay. Then go right ahead. Same thing, difficulty 2, and this is what the DeGrasse Tyson helping out here. And there you go. You already got 3, so you're okay. And one more, so back to your 2 momentum up again. Okay, doing the scan of this one, you're again detecting pockets of atmosphere, and you are getting pockets of, or maybe not pockets, but hints of, again, biological readings on there. Now that you're close to this one as well, it could also be life as well. In addition, I can say without a momentum spend, the scan also reveals there is something artificial. You're not really, again, with how distorted things are, you're not getting any clear results, but you are detecting like alloys that would be not found biologically or natively on asteroids.
I will most definitely pass that on to the captain. Now, when you say life, are you meaning more than trees and plants? Are you meaning
I'll say the
walks
reading
around?
the reading is different enough from the previous readings that it appears that there is animal life as well as vegetation.
All right. Again, pass that on to the captain. Sort of alloys.
Seems could be, if not for the distress signal, this seems to be an area ripe for scientific discovery. As we may forget sometimes, main objective of this ship. However, given the situation, unfortunately we'll have to pass it by and make a note of it to come back when we are fully stocked and in less of a distraction from our scientific duties.
A quick question out of character.
Yeah.
Transporters, would they work in subspace, in the subspace distortion?
With the distortion, they would work, but it would be extremely dangerous. It's possible the pattern could be lost, or you could have a Star Trek The Motion Picture incident.
Mm-hmm. All right. I won't mention what I was going to mention then.
How do our shuttles look at this point? I'm trying to remember what state they're in after everything we went through.
You're still okay on shuttles.
Okay.
Yeah, you still got them, and plus with the reserves, even if any were damaged, they're easy to get back into position.
Okay.
I believe, yeah, the Sato and what was the other one? The Dawkins are still operating.
Mm-hmm. In that case, I'll just have us continue towards the source.
Okay.
Like I said, making asking the lead science officer to take notes on what we've seen, so that even if we can't come back, someone else from Starfleet can.
Okay. Then, whichever lead science officers on the bridge will be doing that. Okay, you get closer to the asteroid again, and just with the distortions really preventing you from getting detailed scans of it, you learn nothing more than what you already have access to at the moment.
Okay, so the signal hasn't improved at all with getting closer. No change in it.
No, because you're basically within range of your close scanning range as it was to begin with. You could try doing like other types of scan. I guess might be a thing. So something like even like a visual, trying to use your magnifiers to try to close in with the view screen, but otherwise, like you're picking up as much detail as you can at the close range.
Okay. Well, then in that case, I guess we'll just continue the course.
Okay. Well, you're pretty much there.
Just before we move off,
Mhm.
or perhaps as we're starting to pull away from the rock, the alloys there, are they in any form of pattern? Are they a crashed ship? Is it a torpedo casing that's
Yeah.
is it anything noticeable, or is it just random bits of chunk of alloys all over the place?
That would be an obtain information if you don't mind.
Yes, please.
It does have the consistency of probably the makeups of a vessel, probably a small vessel. It would be the kind of alloys used in spacecraft.
I'll definitely pass that on, with the scan image going to Drake and, verbally saying to the captain and those on the bridge. So it looks like there was something that crashed there. These alloys are consistent with a shuttle of some sort. This could be our distress call, potentially.
Let's hope it wasn't, otherwise it would seem we are too late. Is there any energy signatures, any kind of residue left by potential weapons fire?
For that, let's see. That could be another obtain information.
Can I add to that, though? So not just weapons fire, any energy signatures at all. So, if it's a crash shuttle, did they survive and get one of those little, every time the Federation ships crash, they pull out something that they might be able to try and make a, distress signal or power to charge things or something along those. Is there any form of power or signatures of any sort?
Okay. Yeah, we could combine that all as one thing. Sure. So yeah, you are detecting there is a trace of energy still active on there. It's faint because you can't really get too much detail because of the distortion, but you are detecting an active energy source. You are not detecting any kind of residue like weapons fire, anything of that sort.
No weapons, Captain, but it does look like they have some sort of potentially a power source or something similar still active.
Well, that seems to be the best lead we have so far. Let's investigate further. Are we able to get closer and do better scans, or do you believe we need to send an away team?
We definitely can't do transporters, so if we do an away team, it's shuttle only. Scans are always going to be difficult through the subspace interference as well. So I would say for best results, we're going to have to put down a shuttle, but we also don't want to be caught in whatever happened to them that made them crash. We don't want to crash right next to them.
Then let's put together an away team. Lieutenant Drake, you can lead the away team. Take medical personnel and engineering personnel with you.
Yes, sir. James, you fancy a trip?
Sure, let's go.
And I'll grab a pilot on the way down as well.
Medical personnel and
We might want to take them with us at the start. We don't want to, you know.
I can't fly, so I would kill us.
Now, I know he hasn't been able to come back yet, but just in case if you want him on the background, Tadagia is also a shuttle pilot. So
that's what I was thinking.
If you just want to name him, just in case he returns for it, or if odds are this episode might last 2 sessions as bare minimum, he might be there for the next time. So
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So one just.
And I'll also then have some of the remaining science and engineering team working on focusing their efforts on stabilizing the the transport deck, so that in case we need to do an emergency extraction, we can at least do one safely. One transport.
Okay. Now let's put that down. So work on transporting.
So essentially, we don't need to be able to transport people down. We just want to focus on being able to lock onto a group of people and pull them back in an emergency.
Okay. All right, so we'll get to that. All right, so you'll build your team. Also, I imagine Lulk is not going down, so if you want to, for anything on the surface when they go down, if you want to use the supporting character option, of course, you could whip one up real quick, or pull from whoever we have available. Whatever works best for you, and then you could control a character down there. But I assume Lieutenant Drake will be taking the lead of this, correct? Full Lieutenant Drake, not Lieutenant Junior Grade Drake. Full Lieutenant Drake.
Damn straight.
All right. So going to get a shuttle. Anything before you leave? So any final scenes before you do the away team? We'll do that.
I have nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Good.
There we go. All right, you all board into a shuttle. Which shuttle do you want to take, Drake? Do you want to take the Sato or the Dawkins?
Let's take the Sato.
Let's take the Sato. Then let's indeed. So you, all of you, you get on board the Sato and you head down towards the asteroid.
Oh. Sato.
Yeah, you recognize.
That's why the name was familiar. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, you're on Enterprise now, so you know who your shuttle's named after now. There you go.
That's nice.
Good for
nice
you.
Addition.
Good for you. It took 4 years of playing, but now you finally recognize. Okay. All right. So you board onto the shuttle and you head down towards the one atmospheric pocket that you have detected where the alloys and the energy signature is coming from. Of course, there are biological signs also detected inside this pocket. It's kind of like in a valley, maybe a crater-esque area, pretty wide, but it seems to be its own self-contained little biosphere, which, again, as I mentioned to James earlier when she did a scan, but would also be clear to everyone with your Starfleet knowledge, is unusual in its own right because Even though there is gravity on this planetoid, there is not enough to sustain an atmosphere, and there would not be enough atmospheric pressure to hold an atmosphere down as steady as it is, but yet somehow there is one, and maybe even a couple patches on a rock this large here. But you're going to the area where it is, or where you got the shuttle, I should say, or the signals of the alloy thing down. So let me load up a screen for you. You land down on this place here. If you can see it. So it's when you get inside the atmosphere, you see there are some very unusual specimens of various alien plant life that you have never seen before. And there is a downed craft nearby. It does have a lot of characteristic design features of a Xylxyk craft. It's pretty small, so it's probably a shuttle or a personal craft. Nothing major like the military vessels or the other civilian vessels you encountered back in the day. You could see some clear signs of damage on it as you get closer and you land closer. And especially the closer you get, you are also detecting that's where the low levels of energy are coming from inside there. But it does look like it slammed down pretty hard, as you see some damage to, there you go, Dave. You see some damage to the nacelles and the underside, so it looks like it had a hard landing.
This is a lot more life than I was expecting.
Right?
I had to find another image. I was looking for a little asteroid with little green bits on, but
nope. There's a whole little biome here growing. And as you land, you see some little critters scurrying about, little furry creatures, colorful. There seems to be some types of fish swimming in the little pond that is nearby where you landed. So it seems there is like a whole collection of living things inside this small pocket.
First thing I'm going to do is test the signal for our communication with the DeGrasse Tyson. I know we're in the distortions. How is it?
So distortion is going to be pretty rough, as you could imagine. It still adds a level 3 difficulty onto everything to get out through subspace. So you could send a message and it's going to be really garbled. The DeGrasse Tyson would have to do its best to try to break through and really hear what you're trying to say, and vice versa, trying to send it back to you.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
You could try SOS, like not SOS.
Morse code.
Morse code. Thank you. Because you could use the distortion in our favor.
Not an engineer. Would that work there, Mr. Starfleet Command?
Oh, it's possible, yeah. You might be able to, if you get because if you can't get a whole solid signal through, you might try to use just the bursts and gaps that would be caused from it, and as long as that doesn't get distorted much going through, that might be able to do it. You would have to rig something up to make it right, but that sounds pretty doable.
Okay, it's a good idea then. Then once we land, let's leave behind an engineer to work on that, getting that set up, whilst James, you'll be coming with me to go investigate this new Xylxyk shuttle. And I'll take most of the crew with me, including Thadagia.
Okay. So let's get some people out there on the surface. Feel free to drop your own drop your own characters off if you can. I'll get a couple what do you call it, badges from the other one. Chris, are you going to make any character for now, or do you just want to wait until there's somebody who is needed?
Yeah, I think I'll just wait till there's someone that's needed, and then I might, depending on what happens, I might either play James Fox or John Doe.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We'll see.
All right.
Pre-warning with John Doe, he is required to say death lines.
Yeah.
Death flags. So the hell I can't.
So,
Oh, there we go. Thank you.
So John Doe is security. Fox is engineering. And there we go. So we'll just have at least a couple of them. We'll even put the Daji out there. And so in case he comes back, he knows he's standing right there with you all. How's that?
Lovely.
All right, you step out of the shuttle with your crew. What's your first action doing?
First things first, let's secure the area to make sure there's nothing in particular that's going to potentially cause a hazard to the shuttle.
Okay.
And then once we've secured the area, we'll make a route towards the shuttlecraft.
Okay.
Funnily enough,
yes.
I was just going to say, as Drake sort of like, all right, we're going to secure the. James is actually going over to the water and going to scan the fish.
There you go. All right.
James,
her
Drake is
father's
immediately
a marine
starting to regret
biologist.
this.
What's that?
Her father's a marine biologist, so and she's like, oh, you know.
Okay. She goes
An
over
alien
with the
fish.
tricorder. Yeah. Goes over, scans that. Drake, you're looking at the security aspect of it, scanning around. So Drake, first with you looking around, you don't see any immediate threats. Just by glancing around, I'm not going to force you to make a roll for that. Some of the little cute, furry, colorful creatures which you've never seen before in your life. A couple of them come scampering up to you and like running in circles around your boots on the ground. They don't seem to fear you.
Yeah, I am. So as you were, before you left there,
Yes.
I was going to say that it means given that they're so fearless of me, there's a good chance they don't have any natural predators, which is a good sign. But I would still like to scan them, as James was just mentioning, to make sure they're not the fecking predators.
There you go. All right, yeah, you could scan them, and just a simple scan with tricorder. They do not have any traits of a predator. So the way that their biology is, you read them as basically herbivores.
Makes sense. Anything, given my xenomorphology focus that I have, anything that would suggest any sort of hazardous trait, venomous, or anything of the sort? But if they're herbivores, I imagine that's not the case.
On these ones, no, you don't detect and you don't notice anything that fits in with what you know of just alien animal life forms and physiology. That there's no telltale signs that pop up throughout the known galaxy.
Okay. They're not a security threat.
John Doe comes back from securing the perimeter and kind of nods his head towards his shoulder and says, "Look, they're pretty friendly," and has one of the little critters riding on his shoulder.
And then 5 threat. It eats directly into his brain.
That's what John Doe's here for.
He's your canary. You're like, and okay, it's safe.
He's alive. We're safe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then the screams come. Okay. Oh, about the fish too. Yeah, the fish. You're scanning the fish. It is, again, you've never seen any fish like it before. Clearly, it's a fish, so I mean, it does have like the usual fish traits, but you've never actually seen this fish. You don't know what world it's from. You don't know anything about it, but it is a unique specimen, and you might be the first person to actually encounter it, as far as you know.
Well, technically not the first person. First hologram.
First hologram. First hologram to encounter it. You're
One small step for
definitely
holograms.
definitely the first hologram to encounter it, without question.
Well, now that we've secured the area and there's no threat that can be seen, we'll start making our way towards the shuttlecraft.
Okay. You get to the shuttlecraft and the hatch is open.
Phaser will be out at this point as standard security, just in case, because I'm a bit paranoid at the moment. And then make my way towards to look inside the open hatch. And I won't be calling out just yet.
Okay. Just peeking inside. It seems empty. It appears empty, but it looks like it's lived in. And immediately when your head goes in, you catch a wafting aroma of something cooking.
Okay. At this point, I will call out to whoever is inside. Hello, we picked up your distress signal.
No answer.
Okay. Drake will, again with the phaser ready, just in case, slowly start to make his way into the ship while scanning the area, and will call out again. Is anybody there?
As you make your way into his ship, no, you don't see anyone there, and you don't get a reply. The interior of the craft, when you go in, at least the first area, it seems pretty open, similar to a shuttle, a Federation shuttle, where there's a big open patch with the different consoles on the side and for monitoring, and then a pilot station up front. You do see some portable power cells being laid out in the center, and also cables running from open compartments on the wall into them. One of them is a low level of energy, and it is being used as a cooking device, and there is a makeshift pot on top of it and some sort of stew or soup bubbling inside.
Okay. At this point, given that no one's responding, Drake will look back to a couple of his security officers and do all those special hand gestures, which means like two of you stay here, keep an eye out, and then points at John Doe and gestures inside to accompany me inside.
And I also remember I have to get John Doe out on the picture here. Okay. John Doe. Okay.
There he is.
With a brain-eating squirrel on his shoulder. Okay. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, we'll head in quietly with phasers at the ready.
Okay. Heading inside, there is another compartment in the rear that you would imagine would be like the quarters for a small craft like this, quarters and sonic shower or whatever they might use for a shower on their Xylxyk vessel.
Okay, we'll get towards the make our way towards that door. Again, keeping our eye out for everything on the way to see if there's anything of note. And then if we don't find anything when we reach the door, we'll very politely bang on it.
Okay. Polite bang, still no response. As far as you could tell, nobody's on the shuttle right now.
James, by the way, now that all the security have gone into the ship, is sort of
Then
looking
up
around
to
a
some
bit
outside.
paranoid.
We're keeping our eye on you.
I'm sort of looking around a little bit paranoid because now all the security's gone inside. It's like, right, well, this is when we get attacked from the outside.
And
no worries. I left some outside with you. You're safe.
And sure enough, James, you start hearing sounds of something in the trees getting closer. Some noise of like trampling, plant life, some branches snapping perhaps, but it's growing louder and you're becoming more and more aware of it.
figuring that the security people do their security thing, I'm pulling out a tricorder and going to try and scan whatever it is that's coming and try and determine what it is and if it's a threat.
Okay.
Well, more so what it is.
Okay, tricorder comes out, and you're detecting a lone creature, a lone figure, a biological entity approaching you at kind of a rapid pace. Nothing crazy fast, but it's rushing in your direction.
I am going to say, probably loud enough that hopefully they can hear in the shuttle, "Hi there!"
Does Drake hear?
Yeah, Drake hears.
Well, Drake then points at John Doe to open the door, and then I head back towards the entrance of the shuttle, but not leaving it fully, to see what's happening outside.
Okay. All right, you run to the outside, and by now, when you get close enough, you're able to hear there is something approaching in the distance. It's almost upon you.
I will call everybody to the entrance of the shuttlecraft to use it as cover. So, especially James, get inside.
Okay.
I feel picked on. As I get in, it's like, it's probably their shuttle.
That's fine. We'll say hello and apologize for coming in with our shoes on.
Okay, so you're all getting into the Xylxyk shuttle, right?
Yeah, around the entrance, so kind of like using it, you would like looking out to see what's coming to try and use it as a bit of cover.
Okay, that makes sense. So, yeah, you go inside, and by now you see some branches and plants starting to sway at the edge of the clearing. And then a moment later, a humanoid figure with very distinctive Xylxyk features pops out of the basically foliage. It's a female Xylxyk, has the telltale exaggerated eyes, pointed ears, and also no hair, or very minimal hair, I should tell you. She steps out, she looks at your shuttle, she looks at you standing in the entrance. In her hands, you see her holding a bunch of vegetables that she's carrying, and a big smile crosses her face.
I call out to her saying, "Hello, we heard your distress signal."
Oh, wow. I thought I was hallucinating when I heard engines whining through the sky. But no, definitely not. You're real. It's not just me eating bad mushrooms again.
Drake is a bit relieved at hearing it was bad mushrooms and that she's not completely crazy. But yes, we're here to help. Can you tell us what happened?
I unfortunately can't tell you exactly what happened, but my little investigation of this part of space ended a bit abruptly when, well, my shuttle had an accident, and I've been stuck here for quite some time.
What sort of accident? I sort of yell over Drake's shoulders.
Oh, there are more of you here.
Yes, and then I'll start to come out. James may follow me if she chooses. We'll all start. I'll gesture to come out of her house now.
Oh, so what sort of accident? I just popped down to see what life I was discovering on these little rocks out here. Found some very, very amazing, interesting, unique specimens, and I was just on my way back on my journey, and then I honestly couldn't tell you. The moment I tried to take off, something went wrong, and I just crashed. And unfortunately,
Immediately I pull out my tricorder and I'm turning it towards the ship like, could something, has something happened to her ship, and could it happen to ours when we try to leave?
Okay, you're scanning her shuttle as she goes on, explaining her predicament. I'm not familiar with the make of your craft. are you from this region of space?
We're actually here exploring the Shackleton Expanse. We've had dealings with your people, the Xylxyk, before, but we're actually from beyond the Expanse, from a group called Starfleet.
Starfleet. I'm familiar with the name, but that was before my time when the last of your people visited.
Indeed. This is our second coming, we could call it,
Well,
in search of the first.
and I assume not in search of me, but it's a pleasure to meet you anyhow. Please allow me to introduce myself. I am Hisan Sosan. I'm the prime scholar of the Xylxyk.
Now, that rings a bell to me as a player. That should ring a bell for Drake, right?
It should ring a bell for Drake. It should ring a bell for Drake, yeah.
Yeah, we were looking for this person, right?
You were considering to find out what happened to her when they said that she never returned from her pilgrimage.
Right. I thought so. I thought it was that. And I said, oh, well, we were actually aware that you were missing during our dealings with your people. They actually hoped that we could come and find you.
Well, that is wonderful, and it looks like that the great deity has led you directly towards me, and I appreciate that. Thank you for coming.
You're very welcome. Let's this person here who's already scanning your shuttle is one of our engineers, Lieutenant James, and I believe she's looking for a way to try and
She holds up her
James.
hand like to wave, but she's concentrating on the scans. Like she doesn't turn around again. It's like now the shuttle's her interest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah, nice to meet you. Back to the shuttle.
Yeah.
A pleasure. A pleasure. Yes. Well, you're all welcome. I'm afraid I didn't make enough stew for everyone. It looks like there's quite a number of you inside my shuttle, but you're welcome to at least have a little.
We thank you for the offer. We have rations ourselves in case you're in need of anything or any medical assistance. We have our great doctor here,
She nods.
gesturing towards the Padagia. Is there anything we can do to help you in the time being whilst fixing your ship?
No, I myself am fine. I've been here for a while. I'm not going to deny that. It's been lonely, but I've had my faith to keep me company, and the hope that someone would come across me, and I am blessed that it is a group as kind and dedicated as yourselves. And I'm happy that you've also encountered my people. How are they doing? I'm assuming that they're a little concerned that I'm missing.
Immediately as Drake had said that we're fixing the shuttle, James takes that as permission and just goes on in and starts really poking around and working out what's going on.
Okay.
Drake will, seeing her just rush in there and start messing with things, apologize and say, Lieutenant James has best interests at heart.
By all means, my shuttle is your shuttle. If you can get her flying again, I would be very, very grateful.
Now, again, as a player, because I need to reread my notes, and that's going to take a while to do that, Drake will remember this situation very well, given what happened. He'll be reading the notes. I know they were looking for her. Was it on positive terms? Because I know it was obviously a bit of a shit show.
Well, they were saying that they couldn't find her, that she was missing. The rebel faction with Mir assumed that the her basic political rival had her killed, is what he was speculating. But nobody really knew what happened to her when she left on the pilgrimage.
Okay, cool. Then at this point, seeing as we're going to be sat here for a while waiting, I'll iterate this point to her, but before explaining what happened whilst we were in Xylxyk, or the Holy Seat as it was called, I'll get one of the security to try and send a message up to the ship to let them know we found someone, they're alive, we're fixing their ship.
Okay. Then we'll, for doing the whole transmission stuff, we'll probably want to do like the little adjustment to try to do the Morse code type thing. So, who would like to do that role? Would it be you, David? You're going to be one security team doing it. Chris, I don't know who you want to be on the planet yet, or if you're just John doing it. And I know James is doing her own thing right now.
We brought Fox down, didn't we?
Yeah, Fox is there, I think, or at least Chris mentioned that Fox would be there.
Yeah. Fox and Doe will be there, and we'll just see what's needed as to which one I'll jump into.
And I guess if you want to do, because we'd have an engineer doing it. If you want to be Fox and have him try and send some Morse code.
Yeah, we can do that.
Shall we pull Fox down into here? Hang on a second. Oh, hang on a second. Gotta send him. There we go. So Fox is there. Okay, and you should have Fox character sheet on Roll20, correct?
Yep.
James, can you do your scan as well? It's just going to be a it's just difficulty 0.
Control engineering?
Control and engineering would be fine, or even science, if it, as it were.
Given I've got focuses, structural engineering, EPS systems, impulse, warp core, can I use a focus?
Yeah, you're examining the
those.
shuttle itself, so yeah, I would say structural engineering would probably be the main focus since that's what you're looking at. Okay, and Fox, you're also trying to do the whole Morse code thing, right?
Yep.
Okay, and it's not letting me see.
So I imagine that's control engineering, and I don't know if you can really stretch small craft engines for sending the Morse code.
For small craft engine, probably not.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go no focus.
No focus. Okay, and also this is what's his name? Fox's return to this is Fox's he's coming back as a supporting character, so they get an advancement when they're brought back into there. So you could potentially add a focus that applies as your advancement. So you're pulling him back, so you could bring him back and add a focus for like something like communications or things like that.
I see. And okay, so we add them as they get brought in, not as a reward for using them at the end.
Yeah, it's basically like when they're brought back in, like triggering them again gives them the level up.
Okay, yeah, let's give them I'll put it in now. The new focus is communication or small craft communication.
Yeah, anything like that. Since he seems to be all about shuttles and flying and things like that, it could be using small craft communication. Sure, why not?
Will the Sato be assisting?
For this one, yes, the Sato would be able to assist with doing that. So yes, so you could do the roll for him. I gotta take a look at James's roll right there. So 2, that's 2 momentum. Just give me 1 second, James. I'll get to you in a bit. So 2 momentum is generated. Okay, do you have the new focus added then? Yes, I see that there. You're good. All right, so just standard would be the 2 dice. You got the focus on. It's going to be difficulty of 4 because it's a difficulty 1 task plus the 3 of the distortion. So I don't know if you want to use extra dice.
I mean, is it something that I can do over multiple time period, like rolls from multiple time, like extended task, or is it just a one-off?
This would just be a one-off to make the adjustment for now. So if it didn't work, you could potentially try it again, but that would probably increase the complication range or the difficulty a second time around.
Yeah.
Since it's not a.
Well, it's just with 2 dice. If it's difficulty 4, there's pretty much no chance of it succeeding.
True, but also the Sato, I don't know what the stats on Sato are. Let me open that. The Sato is
7
also...
communication, 1 engineering.
Okay, what is it? Yeah, okay, so... Yeah, 7 communication, so 1 engineering. So it's a smaller one, but it still has a chance. And it always has a focus on, too. But not that matters. With a 1 in engineering, it has to roll a 1 to get the bonus of the focus, which is the same as just rolling a 1 anyhow. So
Yeah.
We have some momentum, right?
We have 2 right now, thanks to James' roll currently that is still in the stack waiting to be resolved.
Yeah, I guess it's 2 momentum to bump it up to 3 dice.
It'll be one momentum for the extra die.
Okay, I'll use the 1 momentum then.
Okay, then you'll
Let's see what we get. That's 2.
Oh, it's doing the thing again.
Oh, instead of rolling 1.
Yeah, it's still rolling.
Now we're still going to try. Yeah, the ships are just weird now. We're still going to just say like the left number is the thing, but just try to roll 1 more time just in case. Just in case it works. Didn't do anything different. Yeah, I wonder why it's glitching now. Like, yeah, that's even worse. Can't. It's just.
Sorry, I had nothing selected then, and it still rolled 2.
Yeah, hang on a sec. Here's the weird thing, though. It's like giving everything as, it's registering everything as a critical, a complication, but you're not rolling complications. You're clearly not rolling complications, but it's considering that. So don't worry, there is no complication there. So you got 1, 2, and you got 1. You got 3. You needed 4, so you didn't quite get it. Your adjustments aren't just again the way the distortions are. You're not able to compensate for it to do anything more. It's still going to distort it the same way that would distort a regular communication.
Ooh.
So instead of maybe a garbled, we found down it safe, you're getting beep, boop, beep. It's like, what the hell's happening down there? So it's not going to make things better at the moment. You might take a look at it later, try a second time, but right now it's not going to do anything.
Well, it is what it is.
At least Fox got a promotion. Well, an advancement. Sorry.
Yeah.
He didn't have to battle.
All right, you could just send the message and just hope that the ship can detect.
Understand.
Yeah. For now. Back to James, however. While Fox is attempting to do that and then transmitting, James, you're done with your scan. Yeah, the ship, from what you got of your scan, on the base scan right now without any extra information is, yeah, the ship slammed down hard, but you could tell that the engines were on pretty much full throttle as if it was trying to leave the atmosphere or leave the gravity of the planet it was on when it impacted, which is, for you as a structural engineer, it's very peculiar because you would think a crash at full thrusters would probably destroy the craft or do a lot more damage, but instead it looks as if the ship itself got punched when it crashed. So it wasn't like it plummeted down and crashed. It just slammed on to the surface causing massive damage to the underside and the engines, while it should have been going at full speed up and away.
Okay. Can I tell why or how it got punched back down? Because clearly gravity's not that strong here. I mean, we're not floating off, but we're not being crushed either.
I can't say that you would be able to tell why, but like I said, it doesn't have the signs of a ship crashing. It's more of a ship just smacked. Which you would imagine you would find if it plummeted from the sky. But if it plummeted from the sky, it probably would not be doing it with thrusters on full. You've seen this kind of damage from engines that have stalled while in a hover, and the ship just falls right back down to the planet. But
this wasn't.
It's clearly that the thrusters were going.
Okay. I'm going to check the ship's sensors. If its sensors are still working, or it has logs of them, to see if there's any indication of what that means or whether it can be corroborated by the scan I've got.
Okay. Okay, so you want to go look at
that
the
sounds
sensor
weird.
log? What's that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that sounds weird.
Probably does sound weird. Okay, so you go into the logs and you have to go back. It crashed months ago. So you basically have to go back through the logs to the moment when it crashed and went offline. So the logs give you some odd information as well. The scans that they made before the crash of where they were, like you're getting some biological signs there, like similar to when you came to this rock of scanning, you find the kind of trees and plant life that's there, the animal life. So it has the scans that it picked up on its way in, and then the scans that you could see that the pilot, Sosan, she was doing multiple scans afterwards on her own. The scans that she has before she crashed of the kind of foliage and life and atmosphere composition do not match the scans after she crashed.
Okay. How do they differ?
It looks as almost as if she took off from one world and she crashed on a different one simultaneously. The atmosphere composition is different. The plant life that was detected is different. The animal life that is detected was not present on the other one.
Who's still in the shuttle?
It would probably be Thadagia, and maybe Fox. I don't know if Fox was out or not. And
so most everyone went back to it.
No, not Fox. Not, I mean, Doe.
Doe.
Fox is on the Sato. Drake is outside.
All right. Lieutenant Drake.
He leans. He gestures one moment to the nice Xylxyk lady and then heads back toward the shuttle. And yes, Lieutenant James.
This is very interesting. If you'd like to
Jake.
come and have a look at these sensors.
Drake, having heard about James and what she finds interesting, is a little concerned about what she's about to start reading, but he goes in anyway and has a look at what she's referring to.
She took off from one planet and crashed on this planet almost instantly. At least, that's what the sensors seem to say. She hasn't tried to take off from this planet. She just crashed on it. She took off from a different planet, according to the sensors.
Drake staring at the logs and becoming more concerned at the fact that we're in some weird situation again.
Again, that's the key word, right?
Again. We just got out of one. Go on.
Might suggest if we can, fire a probe up to the DeGrasse Tyson, see if it makes it.
That is a safer idea than I was going to suggest of sending the shuttle up. So if you could please get on that, Lieutenant James, I'd very much like to know that we're still in that expanse and not somewhere else.
I'll be back in our ship. And I stride out and wave again to the Xylxyk woman because, I only kind of back waved. So I wave this time and continue on back to our ship.
Okay. She waves to you as you come out. She approaches the entrance of her own ship and pops her head in, sees Drake still in there, like, hello, you mind if I stir the stew a bit?
Yes, go ahead. I appear I have a few more questions for you.
Go right ahead, and you can help yourself to the first bite if you like. Your crew as well. Your people seem nice. Where are you from?
We're from a number of planets and a federation.
Oh, that's amazing. That is wonderful. Yeah, that's right. Your people, they were a very, from what I remember in the history logs, they were a mixed group. There was one that looked like a very furry, oh, what was it? Your people called it something, but then they all looked offended. There was a really funny joke that our people had about like a cat. A cat. Does that sound familiar to you?
Drake kind of goes, yes, it most certainly does.
Yeah.
It's a Cation, right?
Cation.
That's their actual
I would
name.
really love to meet one of those. It sounded so great in the stories.
Do we have one on our ship?
I don't know. We'll find out. Somebody makes one. Somebody pulls one out of the corner. Yeah.
We'll see. Well, you might have the opportunity to meet one. There we go. There is one on the ship now somewhere. Yes. The questions I would like to ask you, though, is Lieutenant James, while trying to look into the problems of your ship, noticed something interesting with your sensors that I'm hoping you can, I doubt, but hopefully you could clarify on. It appears you seem to have crashed here almost immediately after leaving somewhere else.
Oh, that's funny. Funny you should mention that. Yeah.
Funny you should mention.
I didn't really think about that in quite a long time, just because of how long I've been stuck here. But yeah, things were hectic after the crash, and if I may confide in you, I was in a bit of a panic state for quite a while when I realized I was stuck. But yeah, when I initially investigated the area that I found, which was fascinating, an atmosphere on a tiny asteroid, some plant life, some fish that I had never seen before, I landed down and I made my entries in the log. And then when I took off full thrusters, it felt like I just slammed into the side of a mountain. But I realized it, I have to admit, a little while later when came to my senses, but it this was not the same place that I had just made a little stop on. Like those fish were different, these plants, these trees are different from the ones I was looking at. I didn't really uh, linger on it too much afterwards because I was busy trying to get off the planet and I thought it was shock. But yeah, yeah, I when I tried to leave and then after I crashed, this place looked different. But I suppose that's why also the sky changes every now and then.
This alerts Drake's considerably. When the sky changes, does everything else change?
No, just the sky.
Concerning. Hopefully we're not changing locations.
Well, every time it changes, I try to fire out another distress call, hopefully that it gets out, it gets to someone. So I usually wait to see when the stars are different at night and I make another attempt.
Well, given that our main ship is in orbit right now, I would very much like to not get stuck here and transported somewhere else within this expanse, as it could be a very long time before we're found again. May
She
I
nods
ask
when you say a very long time.
how invested are you in your ship, or would you be willing to, for the time being at least, abandon it and come with ours to our ship?
If your ship has a working biolab facility where I could relieve myself without walking into the woods, I would appreciate that very much, and I'm willing to say goodbye to this vessel.
I can assure you we have such facilities available.
Then by all means, let me grab the soup and a couple belongings and let's get out of here if that's what you're doing.
Very good. I'll round up my people and then I'll head out. And
may I ask for some time to download the data from my journey?
how much time will you need?
Oh, it shouldn't take too long.
Please be as quick as possible, unless you would like to have a new few
some
months
soup,
together.
hands it to you, like here, take it on the go. I'll eat mine too. You can pass some to your friends too. Here you go. Real quick. This might be the last soup we're making here.
Drake is now like, he accepted the soup out of, kindness because you can't turn down food. But he's now, thank you, and then heads out to pass out the soup and tell everyone to
she
gather
runs back
up.
to her console too. Okay.
And I go check on James as like I'm telling everyone to gather up, but I'm kind of beelining towards James to send that probe out quickly.
Okay, James and Fox are probably back on the shuttle, and Drake, you also arrive as well.
I'll explain the situation to James. to hurry up.
You arrive probably and they're talking engineering talk.
Yeah.
As you walk
arguing about the Luna class. Yeah.
I'll hand them soup to end the conversation and ask, where are we on sending the probe? And explain that apparently this location shifts. The stars in the charts, the stars in the sky change frequently, so I'd very much like to leave soon. If you could please check we're still in the right location.
So as you walk in, obviously she stops and turns to look at you, and you say all that, give her the bowl, and she's sort of looking down at the bowl, confused for a moment, and you say, check all this stuff, and she sort of hands the bowl back, and then goes back to the console, and starts typing. Still looking quite puzzled as to the whole reason for the bowl. But yeah, I'll do a quick scan to see if we're in the same area, if the scanners work.
Okay. Without rolling, yeah, you can still get a very faint trace of the DeGrasse Tyson is in orbit of this planetoid. And also, Fox, you sent out the transmission, but you haven't received a reply yet.
Okay, I'm then going to try and. I don't know if we can fire a probe up while landed, or whether we'll need to be elevated a little bit, as in bring the ship to the shuttle to a slight hover to fire. Because can't remember. I don't know if they fire out the front, or whether we can do one at the rear or the top.
I believe there's a way to fire like a topical one for any situation where you are landed on a planet or a planetoid and you need to fire like a beacon or something like that. So there should be at least a top hatch that could fire something straight up into the sky.
All right. I would like to fire the probe, but I'd like to put in a quick message of we landed. There's people. The planetoid seems to shift locations ? And leave it at that for now, and fire it up to the DeGrasse Tyson.
Okay. All right, so you're going to prep that, yes?
Yes. And when we fire it, I will want to have the sensors checking whether it makes it, and as you know, as best we can, whether it makes it up to the ship and off the planetoid.
Okay. Then let me do that. For a moment, while you get that prepared, let's go to Commander Locke on the bridge of the DeGrasse Tyson, if I can. So hang on a second. Let me go put those people there.
Good timing. The church bells just finally stopped.
Yeah, we were.
You can clearly hear everyone now.
Well, okay, we're going to go to you on the bridge as your crew, whoever is left on the ship, is trying to so far decipher the message that Fox had sent up to you or transmitted to you earlier. So you're trying to break through that. So can you, with your leadership skills there, can you give me a leadership skill of trying to tell them how to best decipher it?
Okay. I guess that's going to be either insight or reason.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe presence? No, it's not presence. It's more insight, I guess. Insight command, then?
Yeah, that might be good for that. Yeah, so you're basically giving them advice on how to do it. Yeah, so
Yeah,
insight.
and then...
Yeah, insight sounds good to me.
Yeah. And then leadership focus.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. And yeah. Complication range 1, right?
Complication range of 1, I think works for now, yeah.
Okay. Well then, let's see what we got. Oh, that's pretty good.
Still not updating for me. There we go. There we go. Popped up. Yeah, definitely that's good. That was going to be only I forgot to tell you, that's only a 0 difficulty, but with the 3 of the distortion makes it a 3, and you got a 3 to begin with. So I apologize, I forgot to tell you it was a 3. So if you want to spend stuff, but I don't have to because you got it. All right, they're able to break through, and also DeGrasse Tyson also would help with the communications roll too. So if somebody wants to do that, you might be getting some bonus momentum too. But while they're making that roll, we'll say you got the message from Specialist Fox that they discovered the missing prime scholar of the Xylxyk who had crashed on the planet, and they are investigating her condition and things of that nature. That was everything that was known up until the point that he sent the transmission.
Command and communication?
It should be it would probably be science and communication for this.
Science and communication.
Yeah. Let's see. Nope, no extra
Nothing
momentum.
bigger.
So that's okay. All right, nothing big there. So at least you're now up to speed on what is going on down on the planet, and I think by this point that Lieutenant James would have the probe with the message in the bottle ready to go. Is that right?
Hopefully, yep.
Okay, so you're just not doing any special programming. You're just saying the message and trying to scan what's there, right?
Just to see if it will get up, because I don't want us to take off if we're just going to go smush into the ground as well.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You get everything ready. You fire the probe, and you watch it go up, flying with its rocket speed up into the atmosphere. And it doesn't get very, very far before Sixth Threat comes out to play. And suddenly the probe just disappears like mid-air as you're watching it go up. It just vanishes completely. And meanwhile, on the DeGrasse Tyson, you're looking out of the view screen, and in the blink of an eye, the whole entire asteroid planetoid in front of you disappears, and it's immediately replaced by a tiny, completely different asteroid that was not there a moment earlier. And so we're left with Commander Lulk staring at the screen. You see the asteroid is gone, and this asteroid, Voombi looks back. Captain, I'm detecting no traces of an atmosphere or any biological life on this rock.
That's new.
And then back on the planet, you're looking up, and suddenly there are different moons and satellites in orbit over top. You could see through the thin, hazy atmospheric cloud cover that whatever happened when the probe went up, the probe is no longer there, and you are no longer where you were a moment ago. Any comment before the commercial break comes on?
Oh no, not again.
Okay, then we're going to stop here for the evening and commercial break it right there. This was the end of session 1 for season 2, episode 2, titled Out of Place. And we'll hopefully have everyone back next time, and maybe a bigger crew next time, to see where the heck the away team is at now. So thank you for watching, thank you for playing, and yeah, see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye bye.